Hi! Recently, I got a bundle of 5 PlayStations, and the listing didn't say much, just that some weren't tested and others were definitely not working. So let's start right away with the first one and see if it works. So obviously, I'll need to clean the case because it's very dusty, and on the back, there's also this note saying private property or personal property, useful objects, consoles, peripherals, or accessories. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but let's see if the console turns on. And now let's see what happens when I turn on the PlayStation. But I definitely have a problem with the power supply because the LED doesn't even lights up. So I guess I'll check the power supply section to see if something is wrong. Well, in here there is a lot of dust, so I'll have to clean everything very well. And this button, it's also very stiff. The open mechanism is working, so it's not broken, but it definitely needs some cleaning. So let's open the PlayStation and see why it's not working. And as always, I want to remind you that my videos are based on my personal experience and should not be interpreted as tutorials. Certain repair procedures involve handling internal power supply components that might retain an electric charge. Do not attempt to replicate my actions without the guidance of an expert. Well, opening up the first PlayStation is actually pretty simple. You just need to remove a couple of screws from the back and then you can already see what's inside, the laser and the power supply section, and the spring of the opening mechanism is actually fine. So I guess I just need to clean it or just use some WD-40. But for now, I'll just focus on the power supply section because I really want to understand why it doesn't even turn on. So I was going to remove this part and have a closer look at the microscope when I noticed that this cable, it's not even connected. So obviously it won't work in this way. Let's see if something changes and test the PlayStation again after reconnecting the cable.
Fire always spreads.
But unfortunately, I still have the same problem and the LED doesn't even lights up again. So I think that they already removed this connector because they already tried to fix the PlayStation, but unfortunately for me, they failed. So the next thing I want to do is to remove this part from the case so I can have a closer look at the power supply section. I gave a quick look at the board and nothing stood out as an immediate problem, even though I did find this lag inside the case on the power supply section. I think it comes from a component, but I didn't find anything strange. So the first thing I would check is the fuse. It doesn't seem to be working. You should hear this sound, but maybe I just have some dirty contacts.
Blood betrays you.
Let's see. Let's try again. But it doesn't seem to be working. Usually when you have a blown fuse, you can see that because it's transparent and there is a wire that goes from a side to the other. And when it's blown, you usually see that that wire is also broken. But in this case, since it's a ceramic fuse, I really cannot tell if it's blown or not. But there is no continuity. So I definitely need to replace this. Usually when you have to replace a broken fuse, there is also something else on the board that is causing the fuse to broke. So let's have a look at the microscope. Well, under the microscope, I noticed that this pin isn't making proper contact. It moves quite a bit, so I think that the little lag fragment I found earlier actually came from it. This is the FET, a type of transistor, and it's one of the most stressed components. So if the solder joints
hateful breath
loosen, it
will
can fail
steal
quite
your
easily.
breath.
I'm not sure though if in this case it wasn't soldered or if it actually degraded over time. I was about to replace the fuse, but I realized the ceramic fuses I had were too big, 3 centimeters instead of 2, and they were rated at 2 amps instead of
I should have become a
1.6.
priest
After a few
now.
days, the correct ones arrived, so now we can finally test it. I was finally able to change the fuse, and now let's see if it turns on. Well, we have a green light. That's definitely a good sign. And it works! So, I guess I really just needed to change the fuse and reflow
Make your
that
wish.
pin. Let's also try a game. But I think I have a problem with the gamepad. It doesn't seem to be working.
Not all
It's
treasure has
mine, so I'm sure it's
glitter.
not a problem of the gamepad, but it doesn't seem to be working. And also, usually you have a little
I'm being
arrow here
punished,
pointing
aren't
at
I?
memory card or CD player, but there's nothing here. Let's try the other port. Let's see what happens. But it's not working, so it turns on. That's definitely an improvement from before, but we have a problem with the
festering
gamepad.
ring
I also want to test
encroaches
the
upon
game
you.
just to see if the laser is working. Let's try Medieval, which is one of my favorite games for the PlayStation. I also have a Medieval shield back here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's see if you can also read a game. I really hope it will work.
The flames race towards you.
Well, it looks like it's spinning. And it works! So it turns on and the laser works.
You shall
But
suffer your own
we
bile.
definitely have a problem with the gamepad. I think that by this point I should be able to skip this part. But you can see that
Confront that which you
nothing
release.
is working. So I guess I have to reopen the PlayStation and see what the problem might be. When you're having a problem with the gamepad, it's usually because of some cold solder joints on the C102 connector. It doesn't seem like we have some cold solder joints or anything here, but just to be sure, I want to reflow these traces later. But for now, I just want to check the fuses over here. Let's see if they work. Okay, this one is working. Okay, it works. Let's see. It's not very easy to test them with these probes.
No escaping
I
fate.
really want to test this one, marked with a 15. Okay, it works because this one supplies the connector with the 3.5 volts. So if you're having a problem with the gamepad, it's probably because of this fuse over here. Now let's check the ferrite beds or blocks. Let's see. Okay, it works. It doesn't seem to be working. Okay, let's check the other ones before that block. Okay, it works. This one also works. Okay, let's check these two and then I'll check this one again. It's not very easy to test them, actually. Maybe my probes are a bit too big. Let's see. But it's not working. Well, I could try to replace it and see if this one is what's causing the problem, but I don't have a spare one, so I'll have to order it and wait for the component until I can replace it. And to do that, I want to use low melt solder. I'm not sure if you already know this kind of solder, but it's just normal solder with a lower melting point. I usually set my soldering iron at 400 degrees, which can sometimes damage components. And now it's set to 200 degrees. And to give you an idea, look how easily the solder melts. But this is normal solder. You can see how hard it is to melt this solder. So it's definitely useful, and also it's lead free. Lead can damage your health, so it's definitely better not to use it. But at the same time, it's very hard to solder without lead, so I guess low melt solder is a good compromise.
Unfortunately, I had to wait quite a while for this ferrite block, but luckily I managed to replace it without any issues. I chose to use a regular soldering iron instead of a hot air soldering station simply because I felt like I had more control over the soldering.
And now, finally, let's see if it works. Okay, it's working. I'll also check all the other components just to be sure. But it seems to be working now, so I really want to test the gamepad now. Okay, let's reflow this connector. And now we have a fully reflowed connector, and we can test the gamepad of the PlayStation. And now let's see if it works. I really hope I fixed the gamepad problem. Otherwise, I'll have to reopen the PlayStation and see what the problem might be. Well, you can see here we have the cursor, and it's working. Let's also test the other keys. Let's see. Let's try medieval so we can test all the keys.
A few moments later.
Well, I've tested the game for a while and you can see that every key is working. So finally, we can move on to the next PlayStation. Okay, and now
Fire
let's also
always
test the second
spreads.
PlayStation. I really hope it will work. But it's not working, so I guess we have another power supply problem. I don't even see the LED here. Okay, now
No
we have
defense
a
will be
red LED,
enough.
so I guess I just didn't push the power supply all the way in. But it feels a bit loose, so maybe over time, with repeated pressure, it became a bit loose. I'll need to check that later, but for now, let's see if it turns on.
Be still.
It works! It turns on. Let's also test a game. This is actually one of my favorite games from when I was little. Let's see if it works and if it also reads the game.
Death is already creeping upon you.
But unfortunately, I think it's not working. And it's not even spinning a little bit. It's actually hard to spin. And it's really dusty inside. Usually when I have a problem with a laser on a PS2, the disc is actually spinning,
Death
but
spreads within your veins.
it just doesn't work. But in this case, the disk isn't even spinning. It's like the PlayStation doesn't know that the disk isn't there. So I guess I have to open the PlayStation and see if I can also solve this problem. So let's open up the
You win.
PlayStation. It's really easy. Even in this case,
Make it
we
quick.
just have a couple of screws on the back and then we can open it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but on the back it says number 17 and no disk. So I guess someone already tested this PlayStation and they already figured out that the disk drive doesn't work. Even though I'm not sure what number 17 means, let's remove these little rubber feet and open the PlayStation. Well, I have to say it's really dusty. I'll have to clean everything really well. And I also want to replace the thermal pads, since some of them are really dirty and others are also a bit ruined. So just to be safe, I want to replace them. And the power supply connector is actually fine. Sometimes by inserting and removing the connector over time, one of these pins can break. But everything is fine here, so I want to focus on the laser part. I need to remove a couple of screws and then I can have access to the laser. Just a couple of screws and I already removed the laser, so it's very easy to do that. And now I want to clean this part, which allows the laser to move. I don't think that's what's causing the issue, but this kind of dust can definitely prevent the laser to move in the right way, so I'm going to clean it, and just to be safe, I'm going to add some new grease. After cleaning it, I'm applying first grease, and I also want to clean these switches that detect when the PlayStation is closed. While I'm in here, I've also replaced the thermal pads, cleaned the fan inside, and taken the chance to wash the outer shell, including the PlayStation shell too, since it was really dirty. And now finally, let's see if it works. Everything is clean now, so I really hope it wasn't reading the disk just for some dust on the laser. Well, it is spinning. That's definitely a good sign. And it works! It's loading the game. Let's see if everything works fine. It loads the game, so far so good.
They are coming.
And it's taking forever to load the game, so that there's something wrong for sure. I want to check the potentiometers on the back of the laser, just to be safe. Let's check these potentiometers. Let's see. Well, the first one is at 1200 ohms, which is a bit high. I usually find this value at 900 ohms, so maybe I'll try to decrease this of 100 and 150 ohms, not more. Let's test this one too. It's around 250 ohms. Let's have a look at the laser. Well, I have to say there is a lot of dust, so I'll try to be careful and and remove all of this dust over here. Wow, okay, this is definitely not helping the laser to read the game.
I tried to clean the laser truly, but it wasn't easy since these fibers seemed stuck to the surrounding plastic. After putting everything back together, I tested it again and it worked.
And now, before moving on with the next PlayStation, there's also one thing worth mentioning. When you're fixing old things, finding replacement parts or custom pieces isn't always easy, especially if you don't have a 3D printer at home or if you're looking for something specific for your own projects. For example, I fix and mod my consoles, but I don't always find a long-term solution, and that's where PCBWay comes in. They offer many services, including custom PCBs, injection molding, 3D printing, and many other features you can explore on their website. You can either find ready-made projects or design your own from scratch, and you have a lot of control over the details like the size, layout, shape, and even things like the solder mask color and how the traces will look. On top of that, their website features a large active community with makers from all over the world sharing their work. A lot of these projects have a strong retro feel, and it's surprisingly easy to spend quite a bit of time browsing through them. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below, and now let's move on to the next PlayStation. Let's move on to the second PlayStation 2, but I have to say, I think we're going to have another power supply problem because I don't even see the red LED here, and it doesn't turn on. So I guess I'll have to open even this PlayStation. On the back, we don't have the rubber fit, so I think someone already opened this PlayStation and maybe it's not turning on because something
time you will
isn't
finally
connected properly
lose.
inside. Maybe the power supply button. So
Cut straight
let's
to the heart of
open
the
this
matter.
PlayStation and see what the problem might be. First of all, let's check the connector. The positive and negative sides shouldn't be connected. Okay, so the connector is working. Let's check the
The
voltage. I
flames
should
race
have
towards you.
9 volts in, so let's see. Okay, have 9 volts.
Best run.
I still have 9 volts here and here, and even on the fuse.
Fire always
And obviously
spreads.
this fuse is working. So I have the voltage, but obviously I'm losing it somewhere in the path. So I should check for a short on the board maybe, but before that I want to check all the fuses. Let's start with the first one, even if I already know it's working. Okay. And the useful thing is that if I find a broken fuse, I can read here the value on the back of the board and replace it. Let's check this one. It's not very easy since they're very small. Okay. This one is working.
Return to the
Let's check PS3.
Relentless assault.
Working. PS15. It's working. Okay. And then we should have PS19. It's working. So far, so good. So maybe the fuses aren't really the issue here. We have PS11.
Be torn
Okay.
to shreds.
And then we have PS1. But it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, PS11 works. We have PS7, which is working, but not PS1.
Stray too far and find pain.
Let's see, maybe it's just a bit dirty. Let's check
Death's
this
cold
again,
grip is inescapable.
but nothing. And the others are
Hate
working. So
begets hate.
I guess I need to replace these fuse because I think we have another open circuit even on this PlayStation.
I used low mode solder again, and it's definitely very helpful for removing SMD's components without damaging them. I removed the old fuse and replaced it with a new one, and the values vary depending on the board, but the useful thing is that you can actually find them on the back. In this case, I used a 0.5 amps and 36 volts fuse.
Let's test the console, but I already see that we have a red light, so I really hope it's going to work. It turns on. Let's try the laser. Let's see if it reads the game. So, reader.
Be still.
I really hope the gamepad will work as well. Seems to be working fine.
Be still.
And it's reading the game.
Take it. Go ahead. Knights of Chaos.
I guess we have a problem with the laser. Again. Let's open the PlayStation. But, oh, I already see that we have a problem with this ribbon cable. That's so strange. I'll try to open it again.
Be still.
So apparently there's nothing wrong, but I've just cleaned this part too much, and now the ribbon cable isn't stuck in this position, so I'll just use some double-sided tape to put it back in
And my
place.
service continues.
Luckily, it doesn't seem
Chaos
like
laughs, mortal.
anything
and
got
fortune.
ruined. The laser was reading the disc, so hopefully it will work. Let's put some tape and test the console again. Finally, let's see if it works. I really hope it will read the disc. Oh. So at first I thought I was having a problem with the power button because the blue part of the ribbon cable actually fell off, and here we also have this little part that tells the console when the case is closed. So I thought it was the problem, but then I've changed it with another one and it's still not working. We still have the same problem,
This
so
time you will
I guess
finally
this ribbon
lose.
cable got ruined before. Let's test all the traces.
Death
Let's see
spreads within
if
your veins.
maybe one of them is disconnected and we will have to reconnect them. For now, they all seem to be working, so maybe it's not this ribbon cable after all.
A wall arises between you and victory.
So they're all working except for the last one. It seems like it's not making contact. Okay, let's check the cable. Let's see. Well, I don't see anything strange actually. Maybe there. Yeah, there is a little spot where it looks like it's broken, but it could also be just 30. Let's see. No, it's broken. Okay,
Confront
I'll
that
try
which you
to
release.
reconnect it. Hopefully, I can fix this ribbon cable because I don't have another one. So I'll have to order it if I don't manage to fix it and wait for the replacement.
I secured everything with some tape so it wouldn't move, then I carefully scraped off the coating. I added some first solder on both sides and connected it with a
Straight
copper
and far,
wire.
and
Finally,
fine
I covered
pain.
everything with solder mask to protect it and prevent shorts, then cured it with UV light.
Let's test the laser again. Hopefully, I fixed everything. I have to say, if it works, I'm lucky because the ribbon cable broke in a part where it doesn't move. So
The flames race
let's
towards
see.
you.
Looks like it's spinning. That's a good sign.
Fire always spreads.
Seems like it's reading the game. Okay. That's where it broke before, so let's wait a little longer.
Your enemies hasten.
It's making me choose the language and the gamepad is working. Okay, looks like
Steel
it's
and
working,
pain.
but that's where the PlayStation 2 before got stuck. Finally, it works. Okay, I have to say this one was really hard to fix. Let's move on to the last PlayStation 2. Finally, the last PlayStation 2, but I really don't want to
Relentless
test it
assault.
because it's already opened.
My
So
master,
I
it is
took a quick
done.
look inside
Torture me
and
no
noticed
longer.
right away that the fan isn't even connected. So clearly someone already opened this PlayStation, but they didn't put everything back in place, at least in the right way. So I'll try to remove everything and then reassemble the PlayStation before testing it, but I can already see that some parts are missing. These two screws are missing, so I'll try my best.
I took everything apart and a few screws were missing here and there, but overall it hasn't been reassembled too badly. I cleaned the dust, replaced the thermal pads and swapped the battery. Then I started installing the new fan into its housing. I tested the PlayStation and it powered on, but unfortunately the disk drive wouldn't open. While putting it back together, I noticed that the ribbon cables were pretty worn, so I checked them with a multimeter and one of them didn't seem to be properly connected to the board. It was in really bad shape. I trimmed the excess part of the blue stiffener and reattached the cable. After checking again with the multimeter, everything was connected.
Let's see if it works now. It is working, so I guess the only problem was related to that ribbon cable. It wasn't properly connected. So now let's see if the laser works. Let's test Soul River. Let's see if it works. It is spinning. And it looks like the laser is moving, so I guess it's reading the game. It works! Now I really want to reassemble everything and also insert the SSD, and then finally I can move on to the last PlayStation. Here we have the last PlayStation and I really hope it will work. There is a good sign. We have a red light. So let's see. Looks like it's turning on. We have a green light, but nothing on the screen. And it works! So finally, a PlayStation that turns on right away. Let's also test the gamepad. It's mine, so I'm sure it's working. It is a bit dirty though. Okay, the gamepad also works. Let's test a game. Let's see if the laser also works. Looks like it's reading the disk. So now we have 5 out of 5 working PlayStations, even if the PlayStation 3 was already working, but I still want to open it and give everything a good clean inside, because usually in the PlayStation 3 the fan is very dusty. But for now, this video ends here. Let me know in the comments what you think, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to my Patreon page, and
ideas how we can push this build further. But why I decided to reroll this amazing Twister Huntress? Well, actually, this build is pretty amazing and pretty fun, but I just got bored of it. Since I managed to pull out 2 versions. One version got insane DPS and can basically one-shot this boss, but is insanely squishy at the same time, and boss can one-shot us. This version you seeing on the screen right now that I'm using for farming is insanely tanky, but tier 5 bosses takes a little bit of time, yeah. So my goal for today is to make something that can survive and at the same time can probably one-shot bosses. If you're watching this video, then I probably will be able to do it. But now look how cool this helmet is. It actually changes your body armor style, and we're starting to look like a cool gladiator. It's cool little detail, and in my opinion it looks amazing. But this would look even better. I got basic blue unupgraded hammers right now, and damage on my mace strike is 32k. Level 34. It's just insane. What doesn't look insane is my passive skill tree, so I refunded everything for 1 million gold, and I hope we can get at least 1000 likes, or I don't know why I'm wasting so much currency on these stupid builds. By the way, I hope next patch will be as good as Jiggle physics as I added in the game. Anyway, this build will require loads of stats, and I decided to map out a little bit of skeleton of our passive skill tree. That's basically how I make a build. But I know what you think about passive skill tree.
We don't care.
Therefore, let's see our first iteration. Honestly, I just mapped out our passive skill tree and started to test out the build on the maps. Right now I don't have any skills yet, as you can see. I decided to see like basic attacks, and this basic attacks is just insane. It is tier 1 map, and on tier 1 map I am already pretty tanky, I can't die, and I'm basically destroying everyone in 1 or 2 hits, and that's pretty good sign. Not as good as amulet I managed to snatch. And I got a game for you. Try to guess the price of this amulet. We got life, evasion rating, level of all melee skills, 31 intelligence, chaos resistance and global defenses. It may look like insanely good amulet, but let's not forget, no one playing evasion based builds and melee builds at the same time, so honestly this amulet got no buyers beside me, and that's why real price is just 3 divine orbs, pretty good pick for me. And that's by the way another reason why I like stupid of meta builds, they are pretty cheap in most cases. Our sustain was tested in PvP that I won in basically 3 or 4 hits, and then I decided to test can we survive breach. And the answer is yes. As you can see, it's pretty cool, it's pretty fun, and even right now with splash critical attacks we can clear it pretty nicely. Attack speed is really good on this Huntress, and with 2 powerful maces it's easy to build up stun on bosses and then melt them while they are stunned. And that's probably where we will start making our build finally. Biggest problem right now is to get our resistances high enough so we can survive higher tier content. And I need premium tier boots with double resistance and also deflection rating, because it will be our another defensive layer. For gloves I need level 2 melee skills at the same time. After getting all stuff needed, with biggest investment ring, I mirrored it with Calandra because it's cheaper, and our resistances are almost ready. I added a lightning catalyst to the ring, so we upgrade our lightning resistance even more, and this makes our build basically final after adjusting runes. At the same time, our basic attack is level 39 already. Oh my goodness. We need to fix our passive tree that gives only stats right now. And since I got this diamond while I was farming, I decided to see what bonuses we will get on it, and then we will build from the diamond. Come on, show me something good. Okay, increase evasion rating from a cube body armor. Thank you, game. Luckily I brought some rerolls, and we got chance to aggravate bleeding on targets. Okay, sounds good. Critical damage bonus sounds also good. I will scale with critical hits, but I will get little mana cost conversion to life cost, since I am already getting idea what I will build for. Chance to bleed on hit also will work, and the last bonus, increased armor from a cube body armor.
Unacceptable!
Come on, give me something good. And attack speed against rare enemies. Okay, will work. Okay, it's time for tier 2. Now I decided to test few skills, what we will use. And this slam looks amazing. However, there's a problem. Every time I'm using the sleep slam, it instantly eats all my mana and I can't use it second time. Yep, my plan was to completely break skill level limit, but let's not forget, every time we level up skill, not only we're getting more damage, but also we're increasing mana cost. So even build is insanely powerful and just melts every monster on the screen right now. At the same time, if you see it, we're basically destroying screens with every single attack, and that's not only because of our insane power, but also because I got this diamond. From nothing with Resolute technique is one of the cheapest diamonds this league, and I can allocate loads of area of attacks and also loads of damage for us, and more critical hit chance and damage and more life. Very good position. But let's be honest. These mana costs are just awful, therefore upgrading our power by increasing level of all skills was a great plan.
That's a great plan. With fucking what?
But I won't be able to use a lot of skills, therefore we need to think about one really good finisher, like Fatality, and also some clear that will work automatically without our skills. Well, I got few ideas, but let's not forget one more really important thing. Maces. Yeah, they are still blue. I decided to start crafting with Essence of Haste to get more attack speed. It's nice for clear, I guess. Then I will hunt for Kurgle modifier, which will give me almost tier 1 increased physical, but will reduce attack speed. Anyway, that's a good choice in my opinion, and I drop this modifier in Prefix, getting ready for our next step. Using Fracturing Orb, which is insanely high cost item, costing more than 2 divines, and this orb will lock one of the modifiers. I'm looking to lock accuracy rating. We got 33% chance to lock it. If it locks something else, I just wasted few divines. Oh game, come on, give me something good. Finally, lock accuracy.
Go with luck.
Ah, again, there's no hope. Let's just slam it. Oh, we just slammed it. Finally one lucky craft. Okay, now it's easy. I will just get bunch of omens of Sinistral Crystallization, and using it together with Greater Essence of Haste, I will remove Prefix and get Onslaught on kill in my suffix. Then I slammed one modifier and use this omen with another essence again to get extra damage as physical damage, and finish with Kurgle modifier in my Prefix. On second mace, I just yellow slammed Greater Exalted Orbs and got extra fire damage and also mana regeneration from enemy killed. This actually will be useful. Then I revealed modifiers I needed on both maces, and we are ready to fight on tier 7 waste.
One loss
And
is
what
nothing
I'm
to
seeing
be
on screen right
ashamed
now
of.
is already pretty satisfying. Yeah,
No
with these powerful
escaping
maces we
fate.
already can inflict loads of damage with heralds and with basic booms. Oh my goodness, it looks crazy good. Just look at these monstrous slams. I probably released Gladiator before GGG did, and even when monsters 7 times more powerful than on tier 1 Waystone, it feels a lot better and we clear really fast, but bosses are extremely tanky. And yeah, I'm playing versus tier 5 bosses, that's why on tier 7 map we
which
got
you
like 5
release.
million HP on this pretty basic boss. Still game rewarded my build with Divine Orb, and we are ready to get our finisher. We need to defeat these bosses faster. As finisher I took none other than Hammer of the Gods. Yeah,
Be
I think
diminished.
it looks cool. This skill already got 1.5k attack damage at level 19, but at level 38 it's almost 3000 attack damage. Oh my goodness. I will need to get glory and then I will be
Death's
able to
cold
use
grip
this skill.
is
Sounds
inescapable.
like fatality to me. perfect for bossing. And I got another lineage support gem, Zephy Infamy, that will increase power of the skill by 50%, 50% more damage, pretty insane. And since most of this damage is physical damage in my build, and we get this chance to inflict bleeding and other stuff, I decided to stick with bleeding. Take a look at this glorious hammer. Habam! Oh my goodness. Yeah, and also we will inflict the bleed on top, so bosses should just melt. That's why I switched Herald of Ice to Herald of Plague and Blood. I used Herald of Ice for clearing, but now I will use my base attack to break enemies' armor. And since it's easy for me to inflict bleeding, Herald of Blood is a nice pick. It will detonate all bleeding creatures. But this is payoff skill, therefore it can't inflict bleeding himself. But detonation hits enemies,
Ruin
therefore I
surrounds
inserted
you.
poison. And detonation will inflict poison upon enemies. Poison will add Bursting Plague, that will actually detonate enemies when they die when they poisoned. And this Plague Burst will hit enemies with poison damage, so it's not Herald of Blood hit. And therefore this
Stray
hit can
too
inflict
far and
bleeding,
find
and this
pain.
bleeding will basically continue the chain of Herald of Blood and Poison chain reaction, which will be enhanced by addition of Herald of Plague. And that's how it looks in game. Yeah, it's not only big blast, it's also chain reactions that can continue off screen and until there is no more monsters
flames
left.
race
I
toward
ran
you.
like this for a few maps and tested how clear will work in super high density breaches, in Abyss guys, and basically versus any high density map. And it feels amazing. We can just hit enemies
Thus-
once, then just run forward and enemies will die themselves. Yeah, you don't need to do anything in most cases. They will just bleed and poison, and this chain reaction goes on and on and on. And we just having fun until we will see boss. So versus boss I hit for like 2 million of damage already. But it's not enough to one-shot him. So let's fix this. The fix, of course, is correct allocation of nodes on passive skill tree. This patch we can use different weapon sets for different skills, and this gave me ability to actually get more attack speed and more protection while I'm running, and increasing loads of our critical hit chance, critical damage bonus, and bleeding from our Hammer of the Gods. Yeah, that's what I did, and got 69% of critical hit chance.
Nice.
There was one problem still. Bosses sometimes got second life pool or some weird interactions and they just run away from my Hammer of the Gods. Yeah, it happens so many times. But when they don't, well, look at this David vs Goliath fight. I start by hitting him and trying to destroy his armor first. Then I need to stun him, because it will give me a lot more power, but also it will give me ability to activate Hammer of Gods. Biggest problem, of course, is to get mana for this Hammer of Gods, but when it lands, it just bleeds out enemy HP almost instantly. Yeah, it's insanely how powerful this skill is actually, and it's not a critical hit and
You
not
won.
final form yet.
Once.
Because for final form
Do
I
not
need this
get
tier
ahead of
1
yourself.
critical hit chance on my maces, and 7 level of melee skills, and loads of physical damage, extra physical damage, and you think it's some like rich YouTube no-lifer things, and this thing should cost like million of divine orbs, so
Death's
actually
cold
not. I
grip
got them
is
for just 20
inescapable.
exalted orbs each. Yeah, both of them cost like 40 exalted orbs. And then I slammed few essences and they was ready. That's why if you're a beginner, I recommend checking my second channel, where I explain easy farming strategies and
The
lots of tips and
storm
tricks
comes
how to
swiftly.
inflict damage pretty cheaply. Again, I'm doing builds, guides for normal people without extra crazy high cost stuff. But next step actually will cost me a little bit. I used 8
Stray
divine
too
orbs
far
to
and
buy 2
find
omens
pain.
of sanctification. This omen in combination with divine orb will give me ability to reroll all numbers on my weapon and lock it in, but also it can improve them. So instead of +7 to all melee skills, I can
Thunder
get
and lightning
+8.
abound.
Okay, if I fail, this weapon will be locked. Please, game. Oh, +8. We did it. We did it.
The
First try.
wind
Finally,
conspires
something
with
good. Let's try second
flames.
one. Oh, we did it 2 times. +8. +8. Now, from weapons, gloves, and amulet, I get +21 level to all skills. Let's finally break the level limit by corrupting our Hammer of the Gods.
Be diminished.
Okay, luck can't last forever. Oh my goodness, 4 divine orbs. I hope everyone understands that I'm doing it only for the video and I don't have to do it.
And you have to do it. You have to.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, we are locked by level 40. I
Fire
thought we can go
always
further.
spreads.
So maximum level is level 40? Oh my god, I need to learn game better. But these numbers looks amazing. Just hilarious. And with these numbers on my basic attack in Hammer of the Gods, I decided to give build a
Minutes
test
8.
and attempted a breach. Of course, biggest test is breach boss, and that's how fight goes. I instantly break his armor, and then I'm trying to stun him with my attack. After he's stunned, that's the time to unleash our hammer. But there's no mana. Yeah, still this guy is defeated
spot
pretty
on your
easily,
heels.
but we need to fix mana problem. By the way, he dropped Amulet, and I got another idea for pretty fun build for lightning damage monk. What kind of monk? Let me know in the comments if you're actually interested in this pure lightning monk. Anyway, I realized that Spot Airlines, my jumping attack, is too time consuming. So I decided to roll with Rolling Slam, and I found this Saza G support gem, which is insanely
the
broken.
colors of
It will
death.
intimidate stunned enemy, it will stun me for longer, and intimidate means he will be a lot weaker. So I went for a test, instantly broke his armor with basic attack, rolled 2 times, and he was stunned and intimidated at the same time.
That makes it
And
2 in a
mana
row.
problem was easily fixed with new mana flask, so I was able to use this hammer and boom! Double hammer, he is fried with a bleeding. Works perfectly. But we need to find out, can I stand versus King of the Mists? And I can't stand versus him, I basically face-tanked all his tornadoes and other shenanigans, but that's where our second problem occurred. Basically, to generate glory, I need to heavy stun him, and in most cases it's just hard to do when there's loads of effects and other stuff. And without glory, I won't be able to use Hammer of the Gods. So I added Sniper Mark with bunch of fun support gems that will give me life leech, and most importantly, I added support gems that will use my life instead of mana. So now, whenever I'm out of the fight, I can pop my Sniper Mark or some other skills, and it will generate glory. And now I'm able to use this hammer whenever I want versus bosses, and basically one-shot him. I guess we are ready for final fight. Okay, guys, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm too late. Probably. 31st of January. Come on, Sniper Mark. Okay, let's break armor first. Now we can stun. Okie dokie. Looks good, looks good. We can tank. And stunned. Okay. Hammer of the Gods. Oh. Whoa, whoa, there's no glory. Not enough glory. Yes. I forgot I need to generate glory before the fight. Anyway. Oh, he's in second stage. Okay.
Shit, can I help?
Oh. Where is the Chaos Orb? I need to turn off the snow.
As expected.
Okay, the question, can I stun him once again? Armor is broken. Thank you, bro, for standing still. And... come on, get stunned. Ah, okay, it's time, it's time. And... the bringer of pain! He's out. Yeah, as you can see, build is pretty amazing. I made few adjustments and now I'm able to generate glory a lot faster and basically one-shot bosses instantly. Yeah, that's how powerful this build is, and yeah, it's pretty funny. I really suggest you trying it for yourself if you want to play something fun, but also I suggest watching these videos on screen right now, they're also really funny.
Okay, let's pop the last tower. Boom. Okay, we are ready. Guys, welcome back to Based or Cringe, a series where we take a look at different farming strategies in Path of Exile 1 and 2 and figure out if they are good or how profitable they are. This time we are in Path of Exile 2 and we're gonna try farming the juiciest maps that you can make in this game currently. This is patch 0.3, and I have finally built a quad tower overlap. Some of these maps have 4 towers influencing them. Hopefully this is the last time we have to interact with towers. Towers are still the end game as of right now in terms of mapping in the Atlas, and they are not very fun. But next patch they are already gonna rework them, or maybe even remove them. Who knows? We'll see. We can pray. I have set up a quad tower overlap here. A lot of these maps are triple, and a lot of these maps in the middle are quad. And in fact, I'm gonna be able to run them multiple times because I am using the Visions of Paradise on one of these. So this tablet makes it so that instead of completing the map, it just removes the irradiation and you can run it again. I have put this tablet here. Everything in the range of this tower that has irradiation, which should be all maps, I can run twice. So I can run this raised fields with all this juice, 70 quant, extra breaches, extra every mechanic. There is 5 things on this. Elon would lose his shit, and then I can run it again. The way I approach this is I came from this way, and then I put a Visions of Paradise and a Grand Project, which is the Warp tablet. If you put this tablet on, you can run any map in the range of this tower. So I gave up 2 tablet slots in this tower. I did that so that I path as little as possible and I waste as little maps as possible. So I put both of those tablets into this tower, and then I instantly warped to this tower to clean it and juice it. I instantly warped to this tower to clean it and juice it. And then I didn't quite reach this tower, so I warped here. As you can see, this map is clear. And then I pathed to the tower, cleared it, and now it's fully juiced. There's also another tower kind of overlapping here on this side, but that doesn't matter. We're going to run 50 maps. These are some of the juiciest maps that you can craft in the game currently, and all of my tablets are 7 quant. Quant is pretty much all you're looking for. I also have some other stuff on it, like extra % chance to spawn extra breach, or breach density, extra % chance for shrines, which is nice. It can be speed shrine, it can be rarity shrine. All in all, basically, we are running a really juicy set of 50 maps, tracking the loot, and seeing how much we can farm. I will do a calculation at the end and calculate how much we spent. These maps are really juicy. They are all like 90% plus rarity. I rolled them to 5 mod, and then I desecrated them. And if the desecrate hit the prefix, we get some very nice stuff like Abyss modifier. Abysses always have reward. I don't know if that's bugged. Apparently Fobgun ran a lot of these maps, so I checked how he was rolling them, and he was rolling them like this. I am also going to be instilling them. I instilled half of them with 3 paranoias, which is 45% increase rare monsters. I don't know how I feel about that yet, because it takes away color, and I like color, so it looks nice when the game isn't like gray in the Delifog. I will run those first, and then if I feel like I need some more color in my life, I'll just run the other half. Uninstilled, I'll just play it by ear. Atlas tree looks like this. We got quant, rarity, extra rares, and we're leaning hard into increased effect of modifiers and tablet effect because we are giga tableting and giga raritying. So we want as much map mod effect as possible because all our maps are like full of rarity. Breach tree looks like this, monster density, and the Soul Eater and the full Catalyst stack chance to drop. If it feels slow, I will spec into the open faster. We'll see. I haven't really tested without this node, or I was running just slower breach up until now, so I'll just try this. The other trees don't really matter. I won't really engage with other mechanics. Maybe I'll pop down some expedition explosions. I just have the one big bomba. I'll put it down in the middle, and maybe we'll get some logbook drops. Logbooks are good money because some dumbass YouTuber made a video about it, and then they quadrupled in price. So we'll try to farm some logbooks. And then we have some simulacrum ritual. Doesn't matter. I'm not really engaging with these. So that's the tree. So the way I rolled most of these maps, I literally just grabbed my own maps that I farmed, and then I made them 5 mod, and then I took out anything that was 55 or more rarity and saved those, put those aside. And everything else, let's say this is a bad one, right? I clicked an omen of chaotic rarity, which is currently 20 exalts, and then I chaos the map. This will turn every mod in the map into a mod that gives you rarity. So this one is 110 rarity, and then If it had an open prefix, I desecrated it with a preserved vertebrae. Then you have to go to the well. Of course, if you do this one by one, it's really annoying. But if you do this en masse, it's not that bad, because you just come here with like 30 maps and then you're done for like 10 hours of mapping. But this is like the min-max. And then you desecrate it. Extra abyssal pits is pretty good. Extra abyssal modifier is pretty good. If you get map is overrun by the abyssal, those maps will sell for like 300 exalts. I sold like 3 of those and actually covered almost all of my map rolling earlier with that. Most likely group players will run those with giga rarity, like 500 rarity colors. But I think out of these, I would pick the extra abyssal modifier. It's nice for Headhunter, and it also gives a bonus on the map. You only have to watch this animation for the first time. After that, if you have like 10 more maps, you just instantly reveal and go next. So this gives 30% increased rare monsters and an extra abyssal modifier. So that's how I rolled the maps. I have 50 of these. If it has an open prefix, I just slammed it with an exalt, and that's it. About half of these have like a nice desecrated abyssal modifier, and the other half are just 5 mod, full rarity maps, and then slammed up to 6 mod. One more thing I probably should mention, I have 150 rarity on my gear.
You've been winning.
You should
but can
try to
you
aim
keep
for
it up?
100 plus rarity if you are running some
Dense
juiced
cold
content.
grip
Anything
is
above
inescapable.
150 doesn't really matter. There is huge diminishing returns that kick in between 100 and 150 rarity. So I'm just getting 150. It's a bit easier for me because I have 3 rings. I'm a ritualist, so that's my rarity. That's how I'll be running them. And I'll be running the juiciest maps, so I'll focus on the 70 quads, the quads first, and then I'm going to clear this corrupted nexus, and then pretty much all of these corrupted maps will become double overlap, so 42 rarity cleansed maps. So I will run those as well. We're stopping when I've finished 50 maps, and then we'll tally up the results. So with all that yapping out of the way, we are ready to go. Do we start with the wetlands in the middle, in the swamp? 80 rarity, 70% rare monsters, and they all have an extra modifier. That should be pretty juicy. Alright, write down how much gold I have at the start. 791,000 gold. And let's go. Oh my god, look at the map. That's a lot of rares.
For punishment.
Holy shit. This is gonna be fun. Oh, there it is. First thing of this session. Hopefully there's gonna be a lot more of those.
An unstoppable target.
Uh-oh. We're not prepped for this. Ooh, Pharaoh's Rune of the Chase. Wait! What is that? Stop. That's 5% movement speed! Yo, that's a 14 div drop. Let's go. Did that like pay for the whole session? The whole... I'm dead. I'm forcing. I'm so dead. We're okay. We're okay. Whew. Okay, we banked that. We banked that right now. BRB. I will be going down into the abyssal depths. If I find one, I go down. I think it's worth. Maybe we get a boss invitation. It's like 15x at the end. Or we get some nice chests. You just like rush through it. Top left. Hog top left. And then there's a bunch of chests and a couple of rares at the end. It's pretty fast. It's probably worth. Quick reminder that you can use checkpoints in the maps to teleport between each other. So here I was pathing back, and now I want to go back all the way there. I don't have to run there. I just click the checkpoint, click here to teleport. Okay, they added this pretty early in the first patch, so use it to your advantage if you want to hop around the map faster. Ah, dying to chaos. Holy. Oh, Ribbit Talisman. What the hell is that? It dinged. Increase spirit percent. Yo. Is that good? I've never found one before. It's 190x. Oh, we are really happy with that. Tutorial on how to have fun. Yeah, I don't know why people need tutorial on everything nowadays. Just play the video game. Find your fun. Oh, there's my fun. A divine. I don't know, like someone asks like how to like not burn out, but like you just set some goals for yourself, do whatever you want, as long as you're having fun, it's fine. And then if you feel like you're done with the league, you've accomplished everything you wanted, just move on, just quit, come back next update, that's completely fine. There's no tutorial required. Everyone burns out at different
Surround you.
paces. As long
Hungry
as you have
for
something to
food.
work towards, you know, you can grind towards that. If you're not enjoying the endgame loop because it's
Hate
towers or whatever,
begets
then
hate.
stop and just come back when they change it, you know? There's no tutorial for fun, man. You need to decide whether or not you enjoy what you're doing or not.
No
Coffer.
rest for the wicked.
No div on this map? That's kind of crazy. Oh. Never mind. Cut that. I'll do Augury.
The storm
Augury is
comes
fine.
swiftly.
It's not fine. It's really not fine. But we'll do it. 150 rarity map. Holy shit. Come on. Just double it. One time. One time. Double it on
No
this Augury.
escaping fate.
Please. Please proc. We haven't procced in like ever. Oh, we procced.
Best
Yes.
run.
184 quant, 268 rarity in a fucking ogre. Okay. This could be the juiciest map. So what's the proc? It's this node on the tree.
Lightning
Basically every
always
fifth
strikes
map is gonna
twice.
randomly double the effects of all my tablets, and this is a quad overlap, so good luck. Please don't die. Oh, perfect jeweler. There we go.
Stray too
That's our
far
first
and
thing.
find pain.
And the map is almost done, so I don't know. This breach is gonna be it. Plus 30x. Yeah, that was it. That was our juiciest map by the numbers. But no div. Just one perfect jeweler. And that's it.
For now,
184. Oh! Okay. Okay. The final mob that I happened to find in the last corner dropped another perfect jeweler. Okay. I mean, that's still not that much, but better. Perfect exalt. Yo! I think that's our biggest... No. I mean, that's our biggest currency drop so far. That's like, I think the third best currency that can drop. After Mirror and Hinakoras. Nice. 488x right now. That's crazy. Oh, another thing. I heard it. Perfect exile number 2? What? Hello? In the same breach. Okay, that's a juicy one exile. Damn, I've never had that happen. Nice. Is Headhunter Wealth viable on all builds? Yep. Rabbit Talisman. That's 120x. Still the same map. Okay. We're not done. There's one more breach after this. Oh, Divine Orb. Yep, that's good. Dude, this map is insane. Holy shit. Oh, I hear a thing in the distance. Where is it? Oh, I see it. A Divine. Okay, 215. I think we'll just send the next breach and we'll loot after. Just loot the things as they come. Loot other stuff later. Omen of Abyssal Echoes, plus 50x. Ding. Divine number 2. Okay. This map is cooking. 2 divines so far. 10x max. Oh! Divine number 3. There's still a breach left. We're at like the start of the map. Okay. Keep cooking map. Very good. Oh my god, this Soul Eater. Oh, there it is! Divine number 4. We did it. 4 divs in one map. GG. Perfect exalts were still better, but that's crazy. Uh-oh. I locked myself into a boss room and I found a divine. In a breach, in a boss room, in a divine. Okay. In a mire. Guys, this was the juiciest mire I've run this league. I haven't run many, but that was pretty good. The bleeding crystal nodes. Oh, Hysteria! Yo! Come on,
The hour
don't die to
is
this.
later than
Ding!
you think,
Okay,
mortal.
that's like 1.5 div. Okay, this map is a top contender. We got 2 raw dev and a Hysteria. This looks promising.
Let's see what shakes loose.
Logbook, nice. 3 logbooks. Yo. Wait, there's another rare still. Okay. Okay, that was kind of sick. That was, I think, the best expedition we had. Triple logbook. Can I see her quivering, please, for 2 seconds? There we go. If you meant my quiver, then here it is. Also, exclamation mark build. You can see all of my gear for as many seconds as you want. Oh my god, the speed, the momentum, the Shroud Walker backwards. Classic Headhunter gameplay. How's our damage like this? 240k now, with all these buffs. Pretty good. I love these linear maps, it's so nice to just like cruise through these. Map complete. Alright.
No mana.
Well, no things on this map, but it was fun. We got the fun shrine. Oh, ting. What's the ting and where's the ting? You guys heard it, right? I'm not hallucinating. There was a ting somewhere. I'm not using Kadiro quiver now. Oh, that's the quiver that dropped, the tinged? Oh shit, the primed quiver. Yo. That's the first one I've ever found. How much is that? Kadiro's Gambit. It's 3 annuls. Of course. Fucking annul pricing. Stop. Exalt. Show me in Exalt. Ooh. 208x in demand. Good one. Okay. Why is it so many days though? It's min-rolled on the base, unfortunately. Okay. 200x maybe? Not bad. Guys, as a final map, I just finished a Sun Temple with areas of mana draining ground, areas of cringe ground. What a poetic finish to this juicy session. And we just about fit into 2 quad tabs. I had to do a little cleanup in the meanwhile, like, you know, vendoring some uniques and stuff, but that's it. 50 maps done. We got this, 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 and that's it. So I'm gonna now clean up some of these tabs. I'll be back when that's done, and then we can get into the pricing. We're back after sorting. I'm just gonna show off what we got, and then we're gonna do pricing. I will cut most of that out, of course. Seen it all before, but this is what we got. So we got some logbooks, 26 logbooks. Perfect Essence of Battle, 4 Omen of Abyssal Echoes, Homogenizing Coronation, 2 Corruptions, Sinister Necromancy Gambling, a Grand Project tablet, 3 Season of Hunt tablets, Kulamak Invitation, 1 Hysteria Essence, the big one, Farrell's Rune of Chase, this one is like 14 div, a Bear Talisman, a Lightning Rune, the Flat Damage Riding Rune, 7 Heavy Belts, Kadiro's Gambit Quiver. This is it's the best unique we found, I think. So that's the good stuff. And then we got stuff. 230-ish tablets, like almost 100 jewels, 95 maps, a bunch of catalysts, a couple of other runes and other abyss crafting material, 1,878 breach splinters, 573 simulacrum splinters, couple of ritual splinters. I barely did any ritual, 77 exotic coinage, 4 relic keys, and some other miscellaneous omens and other crafting materials. And of course, the flat currency. Oh, here we have some other omen stuff. Maybe they can stack in here. Couple of normal items. So I just put these aside. Most of these bases are basically 1x, maybe 2x. People gamble them, you know, they just get a full tab and then slam them with like perfect transmute, perfect og. Maybe they get a good bow that's worth like 1 or 2 div or something. Same thing with these bases. All of these are just level 80, 79, 80, 81 bases. I didn't do any T16 corrupted maps, so they're not going to be any good 82 bases. I didn't find any double socket exceptional base. I found a 27% quality evasion chest here. There's some ones here. There's some jewelry bases. I don't know if I'll price these. Maybe, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 exalt for this whole tab. But maybe we'll just gamble them. And of course, the currency tab. So that's what we got out of 50 maps. Now I'm gonna start pricing them and then see how much we made. I will mention here that, of course, we got a bunch of tablets, and you know what to do with tablets if you watched the previous video. You search for 7% increased quantity of items, the classic. And so we actually got a couple of nice tablets. I just ogged them all, and then maybe pick the 6% out as well. Same thing, you know, sell the good ones. I also ogged all of these jewels, and I will regal them as well. And then if we get anything good, I will, you know, list them and sell them, and then that'll be part of the profit. So I'm not going to 3-to-1 the tablets this time, but what I will do is I will value them at 1x each, because they are clearly worth more. If you've watched the tablet video, you understand what I mean.